basically, yeah, I want to talk to you about that. Thank you. Okay. Basically, what you do is collect and connect, right? And mix is the key. It's like cooking. All the ingredients that we have around us have been there for all the time, like salt, pepper, lettuce, whatever. You can make so many recipes out of them. And it's about how you mix them. Of course, there's a difference between a good copy and a bad copy. To me, a bad copy would be the one that it just takes advantage of somebody else's work and you only receive, but you don't give. So it's like a photocopy. It doesn't bring you anywhere. But a good copy is the one that uses something that exists, and then you take the advantage and you give something back. So the first influence that I want to talk to you about, it's the work of my grandfather. He was a typographer, and he was born in the 20s in Spain. And basically, he was the son of a printer, and he was surrounded by all kinds of printing systems that was in the 30s. This is when he was 10 years old, and you can see that this was a very common use of lead type at that time. The use of geometrical shapes to build up different kind of headlines, illustrations, typographies, etc. We can see here the use of this technique. The boat, for example, is built up of squares and triangles, and the typeface below is made up by the same thing. This is something that it was very common because it was very fast and economic for that time. People didn't have a lot of time to maybe hire an illustrator and do some engraving or illustration that could work. So in a specific time, in a fast way. So this was a very good way to work. But also what happens is, like, the less possibilities there were in shapes, the more unified and compact and consistent is the composition. So it's a very harmonic way to see an illustration. So it's funny how limitations work, because sometimes the less options you have, the better it looks, because it's more harmonious. So what happened here was, this was in the 30s, and then my grandfather on his 20s didn't go to the Civil War. He started drawing letters, and his father was encouraging him to maybe develop a modular system that was bigger than the ones that we saw before. So what he started to do was like taking these letters and little by little make like a dissection of these pieces in different elements. Like the letter C, it could be divided in 3 parts. Same with other letters, and then he started to modulate in different proportions of condensation and expanded. What he started to do, it was from a single structure, like for example the letter H that we see below. He started combining it with different possibilities of calligraphy. So from this combination, he could build up an infinite number of options. What he basically did was a huge modular system. It was like 250 pieces, and all these pieces connect with each other, and it was a product that really resolved the needs of the time it was living, but also it was a very functional product, but at the same time was expressing itself. It was not a neutral product. That's why I love so much what he did, because it was taking the take on the German point of view of reduction and no ornament and going to the basics, and he was kind of using all that arrangement of ideas to communicate well in a way that could be more expressive and more visual, interesting to me. And these are some examples of the possibilities you could make with the super tipo veloz. This was the name of the type. The translation in English is super fast type. And here we can see, for example, the woman on that example, and the letters have the same proportions on everything. The thick part of the strokes is the same proportion as the one in the letters, in the hat, than in the letters. So everything is it has a good relationship between both things. So as we were saying, there's a nice harmony into it. This is the digital version I did with a professor of mine in the school, and right now, if you are interested about this project, you can check out superveloz.net, and you can play around with the modular pieces if you like. Okay, then now I'm going to explain the project that comes a little bit from what I got from my grandfather, and it's a typeface that I built up for Hype4Type, which is a company that hires sometimes illustrators or designers that are not typographers, but they ask them to draw letters. So what I did basically is construct this modular system that could be arranged in. At the end, when you work with modular type, you don't need so many variations of shapes. You just need like a vertical, an horizontal, a diagonal, and semicircles, stuff like that, so you can build up all the letters. So from this, I started to arrange the alphabet, and the idea was to have a very like art decor take into it, and then mixing it with something that it feels like more modern. So what happened, for example, with number 3, in this case, this modular piece, the black one, it was combined from the other pieces that we saw from the other modular parts. So the angle came from this diagonal modular piece, and this other one came from the one that I use in the S. So by this combination, you don't take a third decision in terms of shapes. So you make a combination of these other two. So at the end, the whole typeface always had the same angle. So they all fit together like very, very nicely, and they always keep the same kind of regular arrangements. This is the name of the type, Neodeco, and here we can see like the whole alphabet. Okay, then some other influences that